Morning. Oh dear, what happened to my voice? Hi guys, good morning, and good day, and good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are. How are you doing, my friends? I'm just gonna check so you can hear me. Alright, yay! We got a little bit of a new setup here, or just on screen. It's a little bit tricky how to set up this beautiful corner, but we're doing our very best. How are you today? We had an amazingly beautiful stream on Friday. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who was there. If you could not join, if you were there with your energy, or if you're here now, it was absolutely wonderful. We opened up this in the spirit of Luna. We opened up this beautiful portal, just opening the doors up, and whoever wanted to come and join could take part in that beautiful energy that was just spiraling, swirling around. It was so lovely. Hi Fabian, are you doing better, my friend? How are you? I'm so happy seeing you here. I woke up a little bit not feeling too well this morning, and I thought, today I will play around with the Play-Doh. You know, we got the clay. I will play around with that. That would be beautiful, and we can shape and craft and be artsy together. And then I remembered still the lighting situation, so I got this little cardboard pieces that we cut out to, you know, to lay the clay up on and to play around with it on top of. But if you just introduce a little bit of a light material to this camera here, it will stop getting flimsy, so I can't, unfortunately. But we had such a beautiful, wonderful stream on Friday that was healing all the way through, and I thought I enjoyed that so much, so I thought, let's continue it today if we feel like it. So let's just enjoy this beautiful Tuesday together. Just sit here in this little calm corner Tuesday. You're feeling a little bit better, Fabian? I'm glad to be here. I hope that we can provide a little bit of joy for you today. I do want to start out on a quite serious note, though, just so I got it off my heart. Many people are struggling right now in the world. Many people are always struggling around in the world, but now is a very peculiar time, as we all know. And I think I told you before how I would, all of a sudden, my private Facebook page would become public and loads of people would start to contact me, and this was what made me actually come over to Twitch from Facebook. So I'm very grateful for that little opportunity that arose. But from there also many different types of people try to contact me, and I love talking to everyone. You know how I am. I want to open the door for everyone, to everyone who feels they want to come and join. And so this individual contacted me, and from the very start they asked me for money because of their situation, their living situation and whatnot is going on. And of course I can understand that we need money, and I said, I want to give you something else than money. I want to be here so that you can find your own way to providing for yourself, because I'm not much to give, but I want to give you my time, and I want to be here as a friend. And we started to talk, like I do. Okay, so what's the situation like? What can we do? What can you do? What do you want to do? And how do you feel? How can you feel comfortable in yourself? But they always continue to ask me for money, and they send specific amounts of money they wanted to receive from me, which was quite a lot. And so I started to think, maybe this is what they do. Maybe they go around and have people or ask people for money, as many people do out there, for their own reasons. But like me, I'm not a lie detector, but I did feel something was off from the very beginning, and I told them so. But we still had this conversation, we still kept on talking to one another. And are your video okay, by the way? Are your video buffering, or is it fine? So many people are using the internet right now, so I just saw, for me, the feedback was buffering, so let me know what it's like. It's fine. Okay, thank you. So this individual continued to ask me for money, and so after a while I just said to them, I'm sorry you have to live this way, and I am here if you would ever want a friend to talk to, rather than ask only for money. And now they contacted me, and the situation is dire, and they're in a part of the world where people are not now dying from the coronavirus, but from starvation because of the lockdown, as is happening to many people around. And so they are now on me, simply asking for whatever I can give in order for them to survive, basically. And I really don't know quite how to handle the situation, since they always ask me only for money. And so I try to ask them, because if they are honest and sincere with this happening right now, I ask them, how many people do you ask for money? How many people like me are you talking to? But they won't acknowledge me asking that question, so I feel a little bit hesitant. Oh, of course, Fabian, don't worry. So I don't quite know how to handle the situation. And also, if it is true and they need money in order to survive, the government, there's so many of them, so the government needs to do something about their people. And if people started to send money from outside, of course, or from the outskirts, of course, that maybe it will help in a minute, but it will also help the government to see that they don't have to do anything about the situation. So I feel this is really difficult. And like I said, I'm not a lie detector. I will never say that someone is lying, but because of this relationship having been only asking about money, I am now in a situation I'm not quite sure what to do. So I just thought, as usual, with me, a controversial topic, but how do you look at it, you who are watching? Because I'm one of those people, I want to help everyone, and I know many can resonate. I apologize for my shadow here, by the way. It's just gonna be the way it is today. I apologize. But yeah, I always want to help, and I want to do the best that I can. And who I talk to, members and family members and stuff, they say that don't send money because there's nothing you can do. And so many people, everyone needs money. There's so many people out there who is in this dire situation right now, who are in this dire situation. And I am one of those who just feel, yeah, that is true. But this particular individual has really asked me for help. So therefore I want to do everything that I can. Welcome back, Fabian. So it's a little bit of a tricky situation, I feel. So I just thought to ask you, how do you look at it, the situation, guys? If you feel like talking about it, we don't have to talk about it at all. But I just feel like it's difficult. I just hope by doing what I do, I hope that the energy and the intention, like we talked about on Friday, that the intention of me sending love and hope in order to find our own way of being confident in ourselves, I hope that can spread, and that I can provide a little bit of joy, a little bit of help, a little bit of bubbles, some bubbles, for our own way of finding the confidence in ourselves. I hope so, at least. So feel free to talk about it if you feel like it. You don't like Facebook and therefore you have an account? Yeah. I don't use Facebook. I got an account and a profile, but I don't use it that much, especially after having so many people try to contact me. It's been my way of dealing with it, I think. But yeah. So, can you deal with this shadow going on? Is it okay? Because the lighting is up there. You know what? When we're going back to the office, we're really going to appreciate how perfect that space was for streaming. And from this beautiful environment here, we're definitely going to bring in the feeling of being in this little corner, because I really enjoy working here. I really enjoy, being in this little corner. So we're thinking we're going to bring in the appreciation for the lighting, and then we're going to redo the office and to move things around a bit so that I can be sat on the floor working. And then when we bring it home, when we bring the streaming home, you home sweet home, Fabian, yeah, we're gonna use all of those things that we've learned on the way. Hopefully, yeah. And you know what I did yesterday? I downloaded Switch Sings. So I'm hoping when we work from home as well, that we will be able to have a little bit of fun on this channel. And to sing together. Yeah. I'm thinking it'll be really nice, actually. Really beautiful. But we'll see. They come a bit closer to us now with the internet connection with the fiber. So we'll see when this happens. But I'm looking forward to it. So, Fabian, you weren't here on Friday. I just want to tell you what happened because it was so beautiful. I don't know if you heard anything about it. I don't think you quite have. But we had this Healing Friday where we had some studies done. I think you were here a little while, no? Or maybe that was on Thursday before. You can tell me, yeah. So we had, because I started to work as a coach. A coach. I started to work as a couch, guys. As a coach for energy workers. And so on Friday we had this little study case live on stream where it was on Friday, it was Boet who were providing healing for Tara, and me being in the middle, just being there and see what happens. And it was so beautiful. And then we also had these healings, people would just come in and say, oh, I've hurt my ankle, I hurt my knee, 2 knees, I think it was, on Friday. And I would just go in and provide that healing right there and then. And it was so beautiful. So I feel I want to continue on that theme also today. So, are we gonna open up this beautiful portal like we did on Friday? This is my little, where I keep my wands. I think it's so beautiful. This little one. So I think we're gonna do just that. We're gonna open up this beautiful little portal and we're gonna provide healing for those who feel they would like some. And immediately a lot of people joined. I love this. Hi guys, how are you doing today? Good morning to you in America. Okay, and I will open up with, of course, my smoke. And still with the lighting, I will do this off screen. People are home today, so if you hear some noise in the background, it's due to that. Okay. Let's open this beautiful healing today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever path you're walking on, wherever on your path you find yourself, and whatever situation you're in, I invite you to this beautiful room between us for healing, for comfort, for the peace and the space of you being you. Okay. And we are opening up the doors to anyone who feel they want to join. Beautiful. Okay. So, if you would like a transference today, a reading, a healing, or just, a little general bubble your way, feel free to put !joy in chat, as you know. And we'll work. The reason why I've changed the layouts a bit, before the camera was very close up in my face, like this. Hello! And why I wanted to bring it away somewhat was because when I provided this beautiful healing on Friday, I saw in the thought, and also I experienced it as I was doing it, that I work very much all over the place with my hands and I go in where needed, and so I thought it could be interesting and quite beautiful to be able to see as much of the space as possible. And with this, of course, comes this little shadow. So I hope that we can work with it, that it feels okay. So if you would like an energy reading or a healing, I also do focused healing nowadays. Just put !joy and I'll see what is for you today. Sorry, I was AFK for a short time. So much to do, Peril. I understand. Fabian, it's okay. May I send you a little bubble today, Fabian? I know that you got so much to do, and I know that you're a little bit hesitant on healing, but I would like to, could I come through and just try to calm, because you got very much activity going around here and also the top of your head, because there's so much to, it's almost like you're stressing in order to just keep on going right now. So would it be okay if I came through and just provided some very calm warmth from on top of your head going down to the sides. Yeah. It definitely feels like, because you don't quite want to, and I'm sorry I'm going in like this, Fabian, tell me if it's too much, but I'm feeling it's almost like you don't quite want to connect with what is going on inside of yourself and also around you in the specific particular situation. You lock it down within yourself, and that emotion spreads through the body, and you don't quite want to handle it, so therefore you're doing everything you possibly can in order to just keep on going. Yeah. And also, just you always have this need to express and to do and to do all the time. And in this situation right now, where everything is in lockdown, where everything is different, and also with this emotion bubbling inside of you, you really just want to keep on doing even more so than you did before, even. So it's just you're not making up for yourself the obligations. They are there, but you are putting extra weight into them so that you can truly, focus one step at a time in order to go through the day. Oh, Joe! Hi! Hi, Gertie! Hi, Joe! Hey, you know what? My guide said that you were going to join today, Joe. I'm so thrilled seeing you back. How are you, my friends? So I would like to come through and just for you, Fabian, very, very gently, because I know you're not too open to it, because this is a way for you to, it's a survival mechanism, right? It's not survival in that manner, but it is your way of just keep on going right now. So all I want to do is to slowly and very gently give you this little piece of warmth, not to disrupt what you're doing, but to rather just let it sit there and slowly bring in more calmness to you. Neon, hi, how are you? It's beautiful seeing you, my friend. All is well, just another day in paradise. Boarded up and boarded up. Yeah, 3 of us working from home. Is it going okay though, you feel? So, Fabian, I'm coming through. Just let me see your frequency. Oh, you're up and again doing a lot of stuff. Okay. Let's see, my friend. No, I'm sitting right here. Yeah, but in your brain, a lot of stuff is happening. Let me see, many tasks. Okay. Fabian. There you are. Hello there. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just want to come in. I just want to bring this little warmth to you. Just going to bring in from the water. There, okay. Letting that frequency work with you for a little while. There, okay. It's okay to be hesitant, it's okay. There. Slowly it is received. Beautiful. You don't have to feel it. It's okay, Fabian. It's okay. Your hair, it's a little bit sharp. So your frequency, metaphorically, it's almost like you're trying to keep me away. I can feel the needles coming out, right? In order to protect what is going on here. I'm not saying that your hair is that way. I'm just saying metaphorically, for me, in your energy, it's a little bit like that, a little bit of a hedgehog. Is that what they're called? Right, yeah? And it's okay. I'm gonna bring in a little bubble, Fabian, just above your left ear. I'm gonna place it just above the hair, just above the hair, sorry. The ear right there. Right here. Above the ear. A little bit in towards the scalp. Just gonna put a little. And it is received. Beautiful. Okay. Just gonna work with you very, very slowly because we're being very gentle with you. Okay, Fabian? One day I'm gonna provide you a full spectrum healing, but we'll do in due time, okay? Typical of you, everything's on the fence. Yeah, it's okay. It's slowly working with you, okay? Connecting with your hands. So from this little, you don't have to know, but from this little bubble here, connecting down to your hands to slowly draw it inside the body. But it will be doing so in a very slow fashion and very gentle, okay? But one day, Fabian, we will be working with you. Okay. Neo VS, welcome to the little corner. Welcome to our community. Hope you enjoy your stay. It's beautiful seeing you here. I'm gonna see if there's anyone who's pending, who might be here, because Bempus fixed it so I can see actually who's here, who's present. I love that. So if you want an energy reading or a healing today, a little transference, just put exclamation mark joy in chat to join in the queue. Gentle sounds good. I'm definitely okay with that. Yeah. It's quite interesting. I was thinking, and I understand this, Fabian, don't get me wrong. What we work with is for people to meet and greet what is inside, right? It's for people's well-being. And what I find quite interesting is that you are here with us in this beautiful community and you're a beautiful part of it. But when you feel ill or when you feel not your best, when things are happening where people otherwise would come to us, you want to move away a little bit. And I find that I totally understand it, but I find it a little bit fascinating. But I understand what it is that you're doing, and this with the spikes, I'm not saying that, to be judgmental or in any sort of form, being, you know what I mean. You know that all I mean is love. And I can understand why you're being this hesitant, but I can also understand why you're sticking around, why you want to be here. So what is so beautiful is that you're actually working your way around yourself, because you're not ready to meet what is inside face on. You're doing so in a way of going through the back door a little bit, which I find is a beautiful process, and this also fascinates you, so it's quite interesting, but I think it's a beautiful process that you're here. I'm not just talking about meeting that is inside of you, but also all of this being in the community and being able to talk to people in a way that you feel comfortable with. It's beautiful that you've found this way around, is how I feel. Yeah. Because you're not just used to shying away from yourself, but you've also used to shying away from sharing yourself with others. So to both find yourself and friends, a group of friends, and doing so in a very gentle and slow process is something that is beautiful. it's beneficial for you, and it's a beautiful process to be part of, a beautiful journey. And I'm not saying this because of you being here with us specifically, but simply because of you having found this community. It could be any community, but having found this community that lets you breathe a little in being who you are, in that who you are right now. It's to shy away a little bit from yourself, and it's okay. And I consider you my friend, and you got a friend in me. And I am happy that I'm so grateful for this community, that people really, we can be ourselves. We can be who we are. And we understand that sometimes we don't want to talk to others. Sometimes we just want to talk. And other times we just want to be in the background. Foreground, background, middle ground. I hope and strive for having this community be a space where we can be everything but as us. And I'm sorry, the camera is readjusting itself so much. I'm a bit struggling with myself and how to see and work with the world and my own life path. You know what, Fabian, that is so beautiful about that, the struggling, about that confusion. And not confusion in a way, because you already found how that makes you be more open to everything that is around. You're still closed off. You still got your standards and what you believe in, but this confusion and this tiredness within yourself and this feeling of not quite grasping yourself and not quite feeling satisfied with yourself, that feeling makes you look at the world in a more relaxed manner. Because we're too tired. I spoke to Luna about this. We had a beautiful conversation yesterday, and we spoke about how when I do my best work is when I'm too tired to care about what other people think. And so when you're too tired to care about what you think of yourself and what others see in you, you are open to then see what there might be out there in the world. And this is what we spoke about with depression. I'm not saying that you're depressed, Fabian, but on the way to there. And so I think you can understand this. When we're too tired to keep track of everything, we're just content with what is. And I'm not saying we should strive to always be tired, to be exhausted. But what I'm saying is that if we come to that space within ourselves, we know the feeling of it. And what I worked with yesterday was to bring in that little something that can hold on to that memory of how did it feel when being content. Not being tired, not being exhausted, but being content with what comes to us. Because usually I am one of those who want to talk about there not being a barrier between spirituality and rationality, because of them both being and the very same being logic. And it's just the very same thing that we talk about, but we use different words and different perspectives. But what we can see, if we're talking about the left and the right side brain, these two will still come into conflict, will still complement one another into understanding our reality. And our reality, I believe, is our experience, right? And what we are, what's so important to many people is to be able to fit in. And so when we're up and awake, all these different perspectives will work with us in order to find something that we can change so that we can fit in better. But when we're too exhausted to do this, when we're too exhausted to give a damn, to be frank, when there's just not enough energy left to think about all these perspectives, then we're being content with who we are. And it's that feeling of being content with who we are that I want to save from the experience of being exhausted. So what I did yesterday when working with how to listen to our guides, because it's the same situation, to be content, have us being able to also just be content with what is happening. And so when information comes to us, for example, we will be able to hear what it says because we will not second guess ourselves and the situation because of us being too tired to do so. So if we can find that little something that helps the brain remember, you know all about this, Fabian, how if we listen to specific music while learning a specific trait, or while reading about a specific period in history, for example, when we then hear that music, also the word, the text, the knowledge that we gained while listening to it will also be connected to it so that we can bring it up. It works as a trigger because of the brain working on all different levels at the same time and connecting pieces together, categorizing, for us to be able to grasp our surroundings, right, and ourselves. So if we can take that little something to help us bring that into the feeling of being content with where we are, we can then, even when we are awake, then take that feeling, that little sensation of everything being just as it is, and with the energy that we then have, being able to take that as a starting point to then move forward with, and to reach maybe not just being content, but being joyful, happy, and also all those other feelings we will experience: being disappointed, being afraid, being neglected, being mistreated, all of the emotions, letting that come in order to just feel everything that there is inside of us, so we can meet it, so we can create a relationship to it. If we have that little anchor, as I said yesterday, if we have that little anchor, it will be so much easier for us to be able to handle each and every emotion coming in. If we don't have that anchor of being content within ourselves, each emotion will look like this for many people, I believe, will look like this cluster, like I talk about, of just webs going around each other, and very difficult to even understand what emotion it is that comes to hurling towards us. But if we can be stood on that, holding that little anchor of us, of everything in the end being as it should be, we can then also believe in ourselves, in our own ability to understand what is coming towards us from within ourselves, and to create a relationship to it. I'm gonna reach out now. Yeah. So it was what you said. Yeah. That's how I look at it. So those times where we feel absolutely exhausted and just doesn't quite give a damn, because it happens to all of us, I encourage you, if you feel it right, to to take an object, first object that comes to mind, and to sit with that object in that feeling and simply breathe and let everything be as it is. And I'm not talking about that exhaustion when everything feels pointless. I'm talking about when we reach that point where everything feels and nothingness. It just is. I want us to be able to remember that feeling of being just what it is, and to be able to breathe in that within the object. I'm not saying we're gonna put this into the stone. If we choose a little marble, I'm not saying this will now carry our emotion. What I am saying is that if we have a physical object to remind us on how it was we were feeling, it will be easier for us to reconnect with that emotion. But it's just gonna work as a mirror of what is already inside, as you know. But you are correct, my mind is very worky and busy, never settling down, even right before sleep it's quite active. Often also busy with not so positive thoughts, but busy nevertheless, yeah. Because you don't want to deal with what is happening, you don't want to slow down. And I'm sorry for bringing this up, Fabian, but I thought it was quite a... My guys want me to bring this up because you were talking about how you experienced a train accident or someone jumping in front of a train. And what they were saying now is that if you were to slow down, that would almost be the feeling for you, because everything will be hurtling against you, towards you, and it would just come to a abrupt stop. Not that you're gonna not survive it, but that feeling would be very much like so. And so therefore you're just keeping going, hurtling towards tomorrow, because you don't know what it is that is today. And this is okay. Many people can resonate with this feeling, and it's okay because it is everything that your mind and body do, as you know, Fabian, because you're so well into studying and to research and to all those beautiful things. And as you can understand and as you know, everything our mind and body do is for our well-being. So this is a way of a survival mechanism for you, a continuous life, just to continue. And it's okay. But there's also a reason why we're talking about it right now, so that someday we'll be able to actually very slowly come to a halt, and to see it's not at all a halt. It's just a perspective shift. And I find myself over my output, and when I can't hold my standard, I'm crumbling under my own views. Donuts are great. Hello. Oh, that's why you say donut. Oh, I see. Hello, H-Lee. Donut. How are you doing, my friend? You're coming in with a very peculiar energy today. How are you? If you would like a reading, an energy transference, or a healing, donuts, you can put !joy in chat, and I will see what is for you today. It feels like you have we were talking about active brainwaves and brains being very active and overworking. Oh, NeoVS, beautiful. And with you, Donut, I'm just gonna say this. It feels like you are very outwards. What you are showing outwards, very active and very clear, not clear-headed in that way, but you're very active right here and now, even though you can swirl away a little and just find yourself someplace else in your mind. That is okay, but it feels like you're also inside of yourself somewhere feel like you can't share everything that you wanted to. So it feels you're coming in with a very light energy, but you're also coming in with resonating with this more heavy energy of not having your voice be heard, but still in a very light way, still in a very you are content, but you're also curious and wanting a change, a little bit like that. While you're very gentle and friendly with others, you're harsh with yourself. Yeah. I definitely agree. And while you, Fabian, want to do research and study and to learn more about others and everything, you also want to learn as little as possible about yourself. Of course, you don't want it, but that's how you've been handling it. And that's okay. It's perfectly alright. I just want to give you that affirmation of someone saying it. And we're here for you. And you're taking the process you are going through is going the other way around. So you keep taking the back door, but it is happening. And for some people, that's the most beautiful thing that they can do, you know? So, Neon, I'm gonna ask you actually, would you like a general overlook? So when we decide what's going on, would you like a reading, an energy reading? Would you like a specific healing? Or would you just like to, what would you like? Would you just like me to see what is going on and see whatever it is that we can give to you? Or would you like a specific answer or a specific healing? The moment you feel so stuck, yeah, you shouldn't let Nia wait too long. You know you can also join the queue, Fabian. Beth Atomic, Twitch ASMR, yeah, a little bit like it. How are you, my friend? And overview, yeah, I thought so. Okay, let's see. Neon? Does it say any obvious? Yeah, it does. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna use the smoke. Okay. Let's see what is today, my friend. I'm doing it off screen because of the lighting issue. Okay. Oh. Okay. That is interesting. It actually didn't want to light. Okay. I'm gonna do this a little differently then. Let's see. This is interesting. This is telling me we need to change perspective here. So let's do so. Neon, would you? I want to use the tiger eye. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's quite interesting, Neon, with spirituality. I would like to work with you together on this because you're new to it, but you're not new to it. And that is quite interesting. I haven't gone up in your frequency just yet, but I would like to ask you, because it does feel you have experience with this, but you're also very new. So it's interesting to know if you've been around checking it out maybe for a little while, but it feels like you're completely new to it. So it might be also your soul being working with it before, because you're very, very open to it. But you also feel brand new, and this is quite interesting. I'm gonna see when I find your frequency what is going on, but right now I would just like to ask you if you know why that would be, why that would come through. But I can see that you probably wouldn't know, so we just continue. So I'm just gonna say it as whatever it comes through. So first off, without now looking for your frequency, before we do that, like I said, you are brand new, but you still know what it is, so you're not new, but you consider yourself being very new into it, and that's quite interesting. So I'm gonna see, this is not the main point though, so I'm gonna see where we go as we go into the frequency. So, Neon. You're very open to this. It feels like you tried so many different hobbies. It feels like you're jumping around a little trying to find. Oh, okay. So this will be very general, Neon. I talk a lot about people, or I do, but I talk a lot with people about this, finding your path. Morning, Bullets. How are you? Finding your path. And I feel this is very important to bring up to you, Neil, because it feels like you're really looking for. You do have your way, you do already, you know what you're doing, but it feels like you are still not feeling quite safe and quite secure, so you're looking at your options. And what I want to say to you, Neon, is that what I usually say to people, when we are looking for our path, when we are searching for our place in the world, we're already walking it. We're already on it. Finding it will only mean acknowledging it. So they're not telling me what you work with, but they are telling me that you feel you want something new. They are telling me about how you should be content, how you should be happy in what you do, but they're also telling me about this wish of getting away, of finding something new. And you're very open to spirituality, but you rather walk a very logical, rational, you like being very logical, not over logical, but you like keeping the rational mind and being close to the ground. And this, I feel, has got to do with its family values. I mean, this is something they're talking about. It's quite interesting because it really feels like a barrier for you, or a bridge rather, but that works a little bit like a barrier. I really want to talk about the difference between spirituality and rationality and how it all comes together as logic. But they're talking about very different experiences from your father's side and from your mother's side, and your energy then answering with not having been in it at all, but it's still the differences in just the general, not in how you experience spirituality, but how you experience life in itself, how you think about, if you want to be structured and structuring your life and trying to find a way, in the archives of knowledge, or if you rather, work with what you got here and now. It feels on your father's side, or in one particular area, they're being very careful with me, but in one particular area, it feels, Neon, as if you got this aspiration of keeping keeping calculated, not calculated, but keeping the structure, right? And knowing what you do beforehand. And then on the other side, it feels like you've got this this very contradicted feeling of just letting it happen as it is. And this, I feel, coming from both ends of the spectrum. They're talking about on your father's side being very, structured and trying to find, and they're talking about the mother of your father now. So going back a few generations, because it's happened a lot of, it's been quite not too structural because of the oversense of being structured. It then had the generation where that became too much a little bit, so you get this trying almost to go against it, so to speak, but still having this overall thought of we need to plan beforehand so we know what will happen afterhand. And then on the other side, where I would talk about maybe your mother's side, or the other side of the family, it feels these values of using what you have here and now, which also is actually the same because your father's side of the family, or this mother, he tried to, they come from the same situation of we use what we have in the land, we use what we have and we take it from what we have. But on the one perspective, they went through seeing these, we will have to plan in order to know what will happen so that we are ready. And on the other side, we went into more this feeling of, what we have, we work with, but things that we have will change, so we can't quite plan it. And so a few generations down, you then have this understanding of the difference between the two, which is why when someone confronts you with, for example, then the new idea of spirituality, which is not a new idea, but a new idea in what you've planned, you then get to this place where you get to choose. You want to plan beforehand, and so you are, you have this stabilized understanding. At the same time, you're completely crumbling because you feel you want something else than what has been planned for before. So you just want to jump in there and see what is, but feeling this constructive, or this constructive criticism, or this feeling of you wanting to follow the footsteps of this being, planned out and well structured, but ended up in this this feeling of being this wobbly situation where you don't quite know on what end to put your feet. So I know there's a lot of weird words that I'm using, and I know this sounds really confusing, but it is a confusing reality that is coming through for you, because you know what you're supposed to do, but you want to jump out and see whatever it is out there. And so it's all about, should you follow, how do you honor the values of your family best? And not in a religious manner, but in the manner of simply following what you've learned from before. So it's quite interesting to see, because you, on the other hand, I can see, just being in the middle, everything, and just seeing all these different options for you. And at the same time, you still want to keep this structured plan going, so to speak. And they're not telling me quite why this is, and they're not showing me specifics, but they are talking about choosing between the two and having done so because of the generations coming in, and how we act as human beings, and what we decide to do with our lives depending on where we come from. And so this is a little bit of, because I can feel parts of your energy, really, it's really important to have this, no, I know what should do. I mean, in my own head, I have no clue. But I want you to see that I know what I'm doing. I know which path I'm walking, and I know this is my way of living. But inside, there's also this feeling I wanted to do something entirely different, and you'd rather maybe not talk about it, or before at least. Now you're slowly opening up about it, but it's still this conflict between the two as it's coming forth. And I feel it has to do with honoring family members, of honoring what you come from, which I feel for you is very, it's what you do, it's where we are. And it's quite interesting because they're not showing me very many specifics, and they're saying that loads of things that I say could really be misunderstood because of the situation you're in. But if we think the next step into it and go into the emotional journey rather than the situational, it will make sense. So it's quite interesting how they are challenging you by putting this little, because I can see in your energy you're not quite certain how to take in this information because you don't quite resonate. At the same time, on one level you do. So like I said, they're not showing me specifics of where you come from, and they're not showing me specifics of, because I know there's been some struggles. I know everything has not been straightforward like it is for everyone. And I know that some things that I say will therefore not make too much sense when it comes to your father's and your mother's side and all of this. But at the same time, on the emotional level, when we think one step ahead, or one step back, depending on how we look at it, one step deeper, it makes sense, and therefore you're in the spirit of not quite knowing how to react to what I say. So what we want to tell you today and what we want to give you is that you already know. Even though if you feel this, you want to jump in, you want to see what it is out there, that is part of you being stretched, because that is part of who you are. So you got this beautiful, the two pieces coming together in the way that you feel unstructured, you feel like you're not certain, and you don't want to show that because you want to be structured. At the same time, you feel it's so important to show not every aspect of you, but to be honest and open in what you're experiencing. But what I find is so beautiful is that this conflict is actually a reunion. So it's not about the one side or the other. It's about how beautifully they come together in you. So this right now, being uncertain of what you want to do, is actually you planning for you. And that is beautiful. And this you not being too sure about what I say is also you standing up for yourself, and in that, planning for you. So no matter what you do, you are honoring the family values of planning to be prepared, because this is what you do right now. You're finding yourself, you're standing up for yourself, you're looking at your options, you're looking at the world, but you're starting from within yourself. And that is beautiful. So you are honoring yourself, and so therefore you're also honoring your family, which I feel is really important for you, to you. I'm just gonna shake something, hang on. What are you thinking, my friend? Because I know I can feel this conflict, you know? There's loads of conflict for everyone right now in the situation. But I can feel this conflict of trusting. Should you be trusting what I'm saying? Because you're not resonating 100%, but there's something in it. Or should you, either way, when you decide to go your own way or decide to continue what you're doing, that is doing all of it, you know? Turtle boy, hi, how are you, my friend? So how are you feeling, Neon? I would love to have an open conversation with you. How are you feeling? It's okay to be conflicted. We can talk about it. Put down what you feel, my friend. If you feel like it, of course. Or you can just take this as the affirmation of when you're feeling, if you're choosing one over the other, you're actually choosing both. And in that, yourself and your traditional values and your family. And I know when I'm saying family, I know there's a little bit of a conflict there as well. But the values of who you hold, who you feel you need to honor, if that makes any sense. And I know this is a very general reading. You're having a hard time deciding what you're supposed to do in life. Yeah. So you're keeping your options open, right? But it feels also like you're trying to, it feels like you need to have it planned out. But you feeling very, because it feels like you're on the path that's been planned out for you, but then you want to do something completely different. Have you heard what I said before in your reading? Because I was talking about, yeah. And so I know that the difference between the different values, I know that when it comes to family, it's a little bit of a tricky situation. But I know that I think you understand what I mean. I think you understand what I'm talking about in this, what is planned for you, and then wanted to do something different, but still honoring who you feel you need to honor. You know, that is really coming through. Hey, Defatomic, thank you. I love how you use my name. Gabig, why I look like grandma? Well, maybe I'm similar to your grandma then. How you doing? So, oh, people are coming home now, if you can hear. Let's take it as beautiful energy. Sarah, yeah. So, what they were saying, like I said, Neon, and what was so important, because they're not showing me specifics, but is to really say that those conflicting points can come together as a reunion, and does so with you planning for yourself, you know. But talk to me, Neon. Talk to me. I feel you would be open to do so, because I feel this has opened a way into what you find hard to talk about. Because we don't have to love what we've been put in. It's very difficult to love everything, and I don't think we can truly love ourselves. I think that wanting change is what brings us forward, and so desperation and frustration and confusion is really curiosity. when we look at it. And also to talk to those people around you who expect things of you and say what you feel. But it also feels like some of them you can't talk to because of various reasons. Some of them might not even be still here alive, but you feel you want to honor them. You're ready to want change in your life. Yeah. So I feel talking to people can really get you a long way in acknowledging that want of change inside of you, and to acknowledge it being your truth. And in that, standing up for yourself, you're also honoring the people who love you. But I know that situation is a bit tricky. But I think you still know what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. Because it feels like some people who might not still be here, or who are different reasons are not in our lives. And still, it's like every decision we make will change how we look at ourselves in order to, or how we honor them, their memory, or what they stand for. And it's difficult to know how to honor someone if we can't talk about it. If we can't talk to the other people around us. Because you are not alone. I know you feel alone, but there are people still around you. So if you start talking about what you experience and start talking about what those thoughts and feelings, you will see that you're not the first one feeling them. And I know that it can be tricky because you're supposed to do what has been planned. And I know that people before you also been doing what has been planned. So to bring it up is a controversial topic, but it's still you, and it's important for you. So to open up and talk. I know it's tough, but I hope maybe this community can help you. Just having somewhere where you can be you. There's also this reason why they don't want to talk specifics. They're telling me is because of you not wanting to open up quite, because of being afraid of what will come. So if you would like to talk just you and I, and my guides can open up also into the specifics, you're more than welcome to. Just let me know. Or if you would like to be here and, to come in little by little. Oh, sorry. It starts a lot. This is a communication sutra, and there's so much that you feel you can't talk about. And we got more people on this channel who feel the same in this community. We got people who come in and little by little, they share more and more in their energy and also in their own words. So if you feel like it, you're more than welcome to be here. And if you would like to, and I mean to say to come back, you can share little by little the more comfortable you feel. Or if you want us to sit down, just you and I, let me know. The Disco community is very supportive. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there is also a place you can go. But to talk and to open up, I think is the first step for you. To acknowledge that it's okay to be feeling what you're feeling and you're not hurting anyone. It is a controversial and tough subject from where you come from, but it is you. Okay. So the reason why you don't really feel comfortable talking about it, like you said, yeah, I understand. So have this little affirmation that we see you and that it's okay. We want to see you for who you are, not who you were planned to become, but who you are inside of you. It's okay. Take your time. And if you feel comfortable, I hope that we can at least provide some joy, some peace and some tranquility. Just somewhere to be in this little space. And when you feel ready, you're free to open up more and more the more you feel. But I know it's important for you to feel safe in order to do so. So for you to just come here and ask for a reading, beautiful. Truly, I'm proud as a human being. So all I can do today for you is really to say that we are here if you want to discuss what is going on or just gain inspiration. You know, the people who experience similar things may be someone who's more open to talk about them, and that can inspire also you to listen to what they say and listen to their situation, and then come together as a community to find a way forward. An individual way, of course, but inspiration for one another. Okay. Always. Thank you. I know it was very general, but I also know it's important for you to keep what is yours. So let us be here for you, if you feel like it. But that's all I got today, is to welcome you, okay? For who you are. I will try to conjure up the courage and talk through the streams, yeah. It might take some time, that's okay. There's several people here who are doing the same. It's okay. Okay. And like I said, if you would ever want to sit down, just you and I, let me know. Okay? Because it's okay. Already sounds like progress, yeah. And do join our Discord if you feel like it. There's a beautiful community there, and it's the easiest way to reach us. Or just hop in and be here. Or just take this affirmation with. I know it's a big and scary, and I know for you also it's not a very accepted word, but we do love you for who you are in just being human. So all I have for you today is welcome. Is that okay? Does that feel okay? Beautiful. Thank you for letting me give you that. And thank you for being here. Bubbles! Sending you bubbles of joy, hopefully. Some of them over time. Yay! So, I'm just gonna head off for a quick bathroom break. Is that okay? And then we've got Poet. Oh, this might be interesting. Thank you for last Friday, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. But thank you, Neon, truly, for being here. Coffee refill? Yeah, I need to go to the loo. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm gonna leave this as is, I think. And I'll see you very, very shortly. Okay? Take care, my friends. And I will let you listen to this beautiful music that has been very, very low. Ah, very silent. And I'll be right back. See you very soon. Hi. Hi, Source Code. Welcome back to the little corner. Oh, boop. Okay. Haven't seen you for a while. How are you, my friend? Has the cat found her way home yet? Yeah, happy Tuesday. Slow day. Yeah, everything feels slow today, actually. I agree. But it's beautiful. It gives us that little space of reflection. To reflect. The cat is still missing, yeah, I thought so. I'm so sorry to hear. I wonder where she might be. It must be so lonely for your mom as well. But they're talking about your brother coming in here? Being more with your mom? Oh, I shouldn't read into it, I'm sorry. I just hope you're doing well. All of you. But they are talking about something with your brother here. Just say hi if you feel like it. Okay. So, Bowhead. I know it's Bowhead, but I always say Bowhead to you. I am so sorry. I don't know why I'm doing that. But last Friday was wonderful. It was real fun. So thank you so much. For you who weren't here, we had a little bit of a, what to call it? A study case where Barrett would provide healing to Tara, who was in chat, and me just being there and checking out a little bit. It was absolutely beautiful. So, let's see where we are today, my friend. Is there anything specific you'd like today? Barrett, would you like a healing, an energy reading, a specific question? Oh, sorry. Or to experiment? What would you like? Last Friday healing was wonderful. Must have dislodged something holding myself back. Yeah, I could feel that. It was beautiful. I could feel a couple of times during it. You said it was only one time you felt you didn't quite know if you were doing the right thing. I felt a little bit in the beginning. I felt there were a couple of those small moments, and then it felt like it went more and more fluid, so it loosened up more and more. Yeah. Energy reading? Yeah. I'm just gonna check. I saw, if you're still here, Defatomic, I saw you saying that you take notice of people speaking patterns sometimes. Sweden is a cool place, but for some reason I almost thought you were Maltese for a few seconds, and I find that really interesting. So I am Swedish, and my telepathic twin is British, and so maybe in between the two we get Maltese. Who knows? But it's quite interesting. Yeah. I'm not even sure if you're still here, Defatomic. I would love it if you were. Twitch is not showing me who's here either. Oh, okay. Alright, I know I had a cluster near my tailbone. Tailbone! Yes, that's the word. And I've been walking standing straight for weeks, even noticing and correcting my posture wasn't helping. After grouping on Friday, it's just stopped. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna see if I can find what might have happened, but I love it. Love it. Okay. Let's see. I'm thinking also you, Neon, if you're still here, why the candle wasn't lighting when I was gonna use your smoke. I usually light this little candle and then I blow it out, and the smoke will then, I will work with it, so to speak. And what was quite interesting, and what I think this is a learning experience for me as well, also, is that because you don't feel like sharing, maybe that was why it wouldn't light. Could be interesting, right? Still doing stretches to make sure it doesn't return. I'm not sure if it was a physical issue or stemmed in my emotional body. I can check while we're doing the reading, and we'll see what happens. So I will try it one more time, lighting the candle, and we'll see what happens. For poet. Oh yeah, okay. There it is. Yes, okay. So you want to know if you should. Bempus mentioned that you were talking about a new commissioned work yesterday on Discord. I haven't been in Discord, so I haven't seen, but he mentioned that you were talking about whether you should do this commission or not. about some masks, right? I'm sorry if I hope that's okay that I'm saying that I'm talking about here. And I feel you're definitely questioning this still. You get this little push, you know, these little bubbles of people. They're talking about Fabian now having been there saying something as well. Or you're just generally getting the small kicks from the people in the community. Sorry, I'm gonna. There you are. Okay, from the community, and it's like you get these small bubbles, and they build up your confidence. But then you really just want to know: is this something that I really should be doing? And your energy is a little bit conflicting in that way too, because it's talking about, you know, no, I know this is what I want to do, but it's still like, I thought I had this under control. I thought I had my, you know, my courage. I thought I had the belief system in myself in order, and now I just want that little, you know, confirmation. I just want that little push. Is this actually something that I should do? Because now it feels like you don't wanna just keep on going for just for the sake of it. It's like you're a little bit afraid. Oh, so far internal conflict is your personal theme of 2020, yeah, for many people. But I feel for you, Poet, it's like you're starting to get this because now when you've gotten work and commissions and you start to work and do this that you loved or love, why I'm saying loved is because now we're getting into this feeling of, am I doing this because of my passion, or am I starting to do this because of the sake of doing it? And so you're starting to second guess yourself in what you've already decided to do. And I'm not talking about these particular commissions, but working with it overall. And it also feels like you're wondering about the time management. Where will I put in, you know, time for my boyfriend? And where will I put in time for myself? And being with my boyfriend and being and work, should I consider that being time for myself because I'm doing it for myself, or am I still? And where does the crystals coming in this? And you know, all of these things, and also other family members, and you know, loads of things going on. And okay, so it's beautiful having come to this. I'm now working with something I thought I only could dream of, but now when it's happening, I want to know, is this how it's going to continue? A little bit like that. I was consider overhauling the craft room because right now being in that space is sucking me creativity to try. Yeah. Yeah. So it feels like you're coming into the sense of having to make the decision. You know, is this having to put the foot down on the pedal, saying, this is now the gear, this is now me, this is now what I do. And to decide upon that can be really rather difficult. It's okay, Fabian, good luck. Hope it'll go well. We're here. I'm also feeling it a little bit conflicting with, it feels like those different parts of your life, what you want to do. It's like a little bit like last reading we had with Neon about this, well, it's this or this and not both. But for you, it feels like I want to do this and this and this and this, and I know that it can work together, and I know that I can make it work, but I'm not sure what to decide on, how to have it work. It feels like I've been shifting my focus from one thing to another, but I'm not making forward progress. Yeah. So also in between the different crafting projects, but also in between the crafting, the working, and the spirituality and the evolving of that, and then the personal life, and then the internal life, and then the external world. And it's like all of these have gotten their own bubbles, and you know that they work together because you can feel them connect to you in different places for different reasons and with different emotions and creating the whole of you. It's not that you don't know this, it's more the feeling of how though, and if I decide now this will be how my life will look and for how long. It's like you come to this crossroads of, or not this crossroad, but the crossroad actually, and to say, if I cross this now, I will be on the other side. And it's not that I don't want to cross it, but it's for how long will I be on the other side? It's such a time for a decision to be made, and it's such an important one, and it's not about what you say to others. This is all for your understanding of your own person. I've also been rereading a book that's made me question my priorities. I can tell what brings me authentic joy, but no plan on how to synthesize the different things into one path. Yeah. So, like I said, I can feel you feeling all of them connecting into you, and I can feel you understanding that they're all part of you, and that it will work out. But like I said, it feels like they're in their separate. Not separate tunnels, because they all connect, but they're in the separate areas. And like you said, with prioritize, it feels like it's very important. That was what I got also of, like I said, how to make the time work and how to make it work. Because it's not the fear of it not working, it's simply the confusion of how to make it work and for how long. Because it really is, I feel, about making that decision and to keeping to it. And the scheduling is not something that, I mean, it's something that you already tried and that you already, you know you need to keep a schedule, but it's not how you work. You need to know roughly when you're doing this and this and this, but keeping a schedule will almost only make you feel like you're not keeping to it enough. So it's not these rough, or there's not these straight timelines that you need. It's not that. It's rather, it's nothing other than yourself belief. It's not that you don't want to do this. It's not that you don't know how to do it. It's not that you don't know when to do it. It's not that you don't know if you're enough. It's nothing of those. It's simply of you having it land inside of you and feeling, okay, we're doing this. It's the decision making. Because you know when once you make that decision, it will all fall into place. Yeah, Richard's schedule was making me resent the creating process because it felt like you had to do it then, and not when I was inspired. Yeah. So it's not about coming up with these plans. It's about understanding understanding that it will all come together once you truly make the decision for yourself of going for it. Because it's already happening. It's simply you needing to. Nothing you learn in business school has helped me with this, no. And that's because it's not how you function. For you, things fall into place when they need to fall into place. So the only thing you need is simply the confirmation of you doing the right thing. And that it's right doing it right now. Because it also feels like I said, for how long will this be happening? And when will the next chapter coming in? What will the next chapter be? And all of this, it's not that you distrust yourself in doing it, but you just simply wonder if it is the right time to be doing it. And it's, of course it is. So what is it truly that keeping you back? Parts of you wants to have it come natural, and so because you're used to things coming natural, and I'm not talking about not struggling, that's not what I'm saying, but in a more safe environment, when you are just being you, things, ordinary things, everyday things tend to just fall into place. And when you're unbalanced, when you're imbalanced, they fall out of place as well. But you know what I'm talking about, you have this natural flow. And so therefore, we also tend to ask to get things a little bit, to have it a little bit easy. And not easy, now it's not struggling, because internally, and I'm saying we now because I resonate a lot with this, and I'm also reading your energy. Part of me is just lazy. When I encounter hurdles, I've been throwing up my arms and giving up before I even really try. Yeah, because you want things to come easy. And like I said, it's not about not struggling. It's simply because of waiting for that natural flow to happen. Waiting on nature to do its course, rather than, and the universe, rather than, you take responsibility for yourself. But when things happen, like you said, we're just waiting for everything to fall into place, which it does as well. So what you're doing now, is simply looking for discouragement within yourself. And so you can ask yourself why. You already got everything you need in order for this to work. So what is it that still is holding you back? And with that, they're actually talking about mom. And with your back, because you were talking about your tailbone, they're actually talking about the fear of going back to having people not believing in what you do. And you face that if it is the right decision. You face that also as you are mirroring into your own partner, into your boyfriend. You're afraid of doing wrong, of not doing the right thing, not because not the right thing for you, but that is considered to be the right thing. And this is what I feel is also located by your tailbone. We all put energy clusters of emotion in different parts of the body, as you know. And you said that this would ease off as we work with the healing, as you provided healing to someone else. Slowly by slowly, that meant that yes, I was there and I could tell you things. but you made a decision. And you were both following and leading at the same time. Which meant that you got the affirmation of you doing, the confirmation of you doing the right thing both ways. You were following, being a good student, and you were leading, creating your own way of working. And so what is holding you back? And what you felt in your tailbone and around your waist is coming from the, if we're talking about chakra, from the, you know, you work a lot with, you said you worked a lot with the solar plexus. I want to talk about the great chakra of, you know, the first chakra of who we are, our sense of being, where we come from, our roots. And why you are being stuck, why you're feeling stuck in still when you got everything that you possibly can need right now for what you do. It's the adult in you who got everything they need. What we need to meet and who we need to meet is the child inside of you. Going back to the root chakra, stability in your roots, who you are. That has been hurt before because of having to follow not at all straight, but having to follow a certain, very much like we spoke with Neon about, not a certain plan, not a certain, you know, this has already been made out for you, but rather whichever it was that you decided to do, always coming back to the feeling of it not being right, not being completely there. And that reflecting from within you and back into you. And I know this is on a completely different level than what we were spoken about before, but I feel this is what is left for you to meet, to greet, to thank, and to let be. To just let yourself be here and now. Because you overcame what you went through, the feeling of not doing right. You overcame that, and the adult in you took care of you. But the feeling of still being afraid of doing not right, because I'm not talking about doing wrong, but doing simply not quite right, is still there. And that's what I feel you feel, the insecurity within your boyfriend. And I can resonate with this. And that's what I feel, the insecurity of choosing and not choosing, but wanting to give as much of your time as possible to each element of what you want to do. Just to do it right. So for me, about your tailbone, and I can see you really started a process there. So I wouldn't worry, just keep, I'm not gonna go in and fix or go in at all, because I can see those beautiful light bubbles pulsating and connecting your spine to build that feeling up of you being, and not enough, but being right in just who you are. Encourage me to try, even if whatever it is will fall flat. I don't trust that anyone else will be there to help me back up again. No. It's beautiful that you have that relationship, but you need that relationship within yourself. That's forward in myself, not a reflection of his behavior. No, so when I said reflection, I mean it's reflecting from within you onto him and back. So it's just you seeing yourself from his perspective in your eyes. So it's just your expectation of what he'll see, rather than listening to what he has to say and what he actually sees. And that's what I spoke about with you before, that if you listen to him, he's got so much to say, so many beautiful ideas for you to feel better within yourself. But when you listen to him, that means you're listening to what you hear him say. You know what I mean? And you know this and you work on it. But what you have not worked on and what you have not met, and what I want you to meet now, is your mother. And forgiveness and forgiving yourself. But to go through that and to really be with it. And I know that is tough, because that is just one first step of opening the doors to everything that then happened. I'm thinking especially during your teenage years, or your first teenage years, so to speak. But it's what's left, my friend. To meet that adult that is you, from the perspective, from start to finish, from the perspective of the little child. Because you jump over it. That was your survival technique. So why you're still feeling not certain is because you're not connected entirely to who you are because of what you've gone through. And it's time. So, you said before that you wanted to work with me to find your way into working with energy. And I feel it's the same answer for whatever work it is that you want to do. The answer is to start there, so we can meet the both ends, the two ends. I have started a new form of, I have a client right now who I've tried something very new with. Makes sense. I think I know what I'm going to start with today. Yeah. I started, I don't know anything. I just take I just follow my guide's advice and direction. And with one client, they asked me to do what we then realized was psychotherapy, part of it, where you would just write or talk, just let everything out without getting an advice or nothing but, just confirmation that someone is listening to you. And just let everything out. And for you, Poet, I think we would do this, if you want to work with me, I think we'll do this in a little bit of a different way, because I feel you need to be encouraged to let it out in another way. But I'm feeling I would like to, if you feel it right, my friends, and if you still want to work, with me in finding this way or acknowledging the path, then this is where we will start. It's with your mother. Hi, Fabian. So, if you feel it right, let's talk on Discord and let's start this. You and I, and with the community of the experimentation, with the coaching. Okay. So do what you feel you need to do, and then let me know if you feel you want to do this together, and we'll have this done together. Yeah. Is that okay? So what I wanted to give you today was that little push and that realization of it's going back to the mother we need to do. Okay? To mom. And we're here in the community, as you know, always. I hope I didn't hurt you today, my friend. Does this feel okay? Beautiful. Truly. Okay. I'm just gonna have a sip of water. It's beautiful to see those lights that come from your spine, from your tailbone and upwards, because that work is something you've been doing, but not me, you. And it's so beautiful seeing you slowly heal yourself. That's something you've been doing many years, but to see it in this way, it's absolutely wonderful. Okay. So, Fabian, I saw you actually joined the queue. What would you like today, Fabian? If you could ask for anything. Your sister needed work. The first thing that comes to you, what do you feel you would want today? First word, Fabian. What I want is not what I need. Okay. Joy, happiness. But what you need is reality. Okay. Let's go for it. What you want, Fabian, is someone to let you be who you have studied yourself out to be. You want someone to just let you be. What you need, yeah, I need my working spirit back, but it was based on fear, yeah. What you need is someone to put you in a halt and say, you've been running from this little boy for enough time, for long enough. You need someone to turn you, to face you. What you want is someone to run beside you. And what you need is someone to stand in front of you. And you can't get out of your old habit. Yeah. It was based on fear, so a partner. Well, the first person you need, Fabian, is yourself. You know this. I love Streamlabs' response to that. You've been running from yourself for long enough. And it feels like you've always been running. You started running because of fear, but I see this picture where you would run because of it being a play. You know, you were being playful, you would be running. And then I just see this image where this little boy runs on this bridge. And when he starts running, he runs on this path towards the bridge, and there's greenery, there's trees, there's a park, there's water underneath, there is this fields in the background, and he will be running and running with joy, with happiness, with playfulness. And then things would start to tumble down. As he's running more and more because of fear, because of things starting to tremble, to tumble down beside him. And now it's almost like this picture where you see someone run and the bridge is just falling behind him, which is why you're terrified of stopping, because then you will fall into this bottomless pit. There's no lake anymore, there's just this bottomless pit. And what you now are looking for is for me to understand that no, it wasn't a play to begin with. It was a play, but it was a play who someone else played. So you always tried to keep up with the people around you. It's quite interesting because it feels for you, Fabian, because you've always been so interested in studying, you've always been so interested in doing your research and to think. Very accurate picture, yeah. You've always been so in your head, and that has been, your interest, your hobby. You want to know things. So it's like friends or other children you would sit there with your books or with your thoughts and with your knowledge, and then someone would run past you and you will realize that you want to join in to play when they run past you. So you're always running towards having a playmate. You're always running towards trying to be a part of that play that other people are playing, because you enjoy playing, you enjoy being around other people. That's not the problem. You just also very much enjoy studying. You also very much enjoy gaining more information, but you also like to have a bit of a fun. So with other children choosing to play first and study then, and you choosing to study first and then play, this made you, like I said, have this, doing this run in order to try to keep up with them. Not in this very sad, melancholy way, just simply because you had different priorities, like you, Bowit, that you're scared of. Not that you're scared about it, but what we talked about before with you. And so for you, Fabian, it just turned out that way, you know? And you always enjoyed, it's not like you're feeling stuck in your study, in your research. It's always a struggle between my two paths. I would describe it as a strong dualism. Yeah, because it's not contradictory, and it's a struggle, but it's not a warfare. It's not, those two go together, and it's not that you dislike being who you are. It's not like you wish that you could be more playful or wish that you could be more studious. That's not it. You just want to be finding a way to be accepted and to work in your rhythm with someone else, with people accepting your rhythm. Hi, Saint Bacchus. Saint Abacus, sorry. How are you, my friend? Long time no see. And for me, it's a constant conflict. My whole mind is constantly in a war with itself. But it's interesting because I don't see this warfare. I see this. I can understand what you're saying because if you want someone to understand you, but within you, I can see there being no conflict in that. For you, those two would go together, those two would work. But I see the conflict coming in from the experience of other people don't understanding it. You know what I mean? Would you resonate or no? Good morning, young crowd. Morning! You know, because it feels like within you, it feels like it makes sense that those things would go together, but the conflict comes in other people seemingly doesn't understand. And then we have the other part, and that is because you are someone who likes to take your time, who likes to study and to research. I'm not talking about this stressed mind of always occupying itself. I'm not saying that that's taking it easy and being calm, but because of you usually find yourself sitting a bit lonesome, you will also get to hear things growing up. You will get to understand and know things that would happen, and being quite alone in that knowledge, and being quite secretive and not telling the adults what you knew. But because you knew this, when things then would happen that you didn't know of, that would hit you quite hard because you were used to having the picture, the puzzle come together somewhat. So a big feeling of needing to be in control, right? Because of Celestira Dea. Hi. I hope you're doing well. How are you? Because of you seeing a possibility for these different perspectives to go together to forming your reality. Those are being playful and being with people, being social, being active, and that part of being studious and doing research and being alone and to be in your head, and also that middle part of understanding and seeing things for what they are. When that understanding that you created in between those parts of you meet the reality of other people not experiencing this way that you are, and then especially being struck with understanding that there's something you don't know that doesn't correlate with what you've come to understand about yourself. Yes, for me, controlling myself and my life decisions is the most important thing. I'm very fearful of losing control. Yeah. Because if you control it, there'll be no surprises. And if there are no surprises, nothing will keep you from running, from keep on running. And in that, keeping you safe. You're impressed. So here comes the research. Here comes the studying mind. I can see something else also. And that is right here, right now. I'm not sure you are thinking this, but I can see the picture of you imagining, for example, me now. Imagining what would have been like if she was there when I was a kid. Because when I was talking about you sitting alone as a child, I did see this other girl next to you. And I asked your energy about her, and she said, the energy said that there were none there. And now I'm starting to think that I think you put her there afterwards. When you meet people, parts of your brain go into searching and studying and thinking about how would it have been if this person was there before. So what this shows and what it truly is all about is you being very, very, very lonely, alone. Alone with great knowledge, great understanding, but no one to share it with because of the constant need of running. Because of otherwise losing control. That you're analyzing. So like I said, what I want to give you is what you already have in this. Tara, good morning, my friend. By being in this community, slowly by slowly, parts of you starts to recognize that you might not be alone. And you always also have this little thing where you think, because you want to be a visionary. And the researcher in you finds it quite interesting that this exists. And so you also have this little feeling of wanting to carry this forward, I feel. The feeling of a visionary and the researcher combined. And now, when I all of a sudden start talking about instead a group of friends, that triggers something else inside of you. So, should you stop running? You're already slowing down. Can you feel it? You already started the process. You're not sure why, no. And that's because it's out of your control. It's really not. It's your decision. But the feeling why you're not sure why, it's because it's not following protocol. You opened up a channel for your frequency now. So for the first time, Fabian, you're actually letting me in. So I'm gonna use this. And I'm gonna slow you down. Things are happening with Streamlabs as it is with you. It's okay. So when I'm here, right here, by your right shoulder, or your right by your breast, here, right here, I'm gonna put in a little bubble before you close off. It's okay. And that is simply to warm you, to create warmth, to create comfort, and to calm you down. There. And with the tears that you're so desperately trying to hold down, with the emotion that will keep bubbling up, I wish you to know that you're not alone. And I want to give you a hug. So I'm coming through again. Hi, it's easy now. And I'm gonna give you a hug. The small boy inside of you. And the big adults. There. Beautiful. Know that with this community, not only you should be here for us, we are truly here for you. See, the earth is not shattering beneath your feet. When you're slowing down, we can start to see what is around us. But even more, we can see what is inside. There's nothing to fear. It's just you. There. Can you feel it lifting a little bit off your shoulders? And with it comes the tiredness. It's okay, I know you still want to find ways to activate all of this. It's okay. But you feel a new sense of being, and nothing is crumbling. It's just you, the whole of you, the beauty of being you. And it's just us. And you can be safe. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel frustrated. Everything you feel, it's okay. Quite a lot to think about, I have to admit. But I'm very surprised how accurate almost every point was. Shook and how they smell for myself. It's okay. We are here for you. And I'm just very glad that you found this community, friends. And know that in the near future, we will also provide healing. And we will work more and more in calming you down. And to have you see the ground is not crackling beneath you. Not crackling and not cackling. Neither of those things. It just is. And it's beautiful. Just as you. One time you have to show me your wishing rod, which you can shoot directly into people's house. Look directly into people's house. It's just called being human. You know what my wishing rod is? What the magic is behind? It's right here. It's just from one heart to another. And the energy that connects us all. It's just about being us. I feel you're satisfied for today, my friend. I'm gonna let you be now. But are you okay? Know that you can always contact me if you feel like it, or just hang out in the community like you know. Does this feel okay? Oh, Susadaya. Welcome. Thank you for the subscription. And welcome to the Bubble Clan! You got bubbles now! I hope you enjoy your stay, my friend. Thank you so much. It's cool when you left a bit of mysteries around you. Thanks for the session. Yeah, I know. But I think this was what you needed in order to calm down, you know. It's okay, your brain starts triggering up again. Thank you. And let me know if you ever want to do one-on-one. One day there will be healing, my friend. I know we're a little bit crazy, so Sarah, but that's just who we are. Hard and long way from me, and yeah, my brother's going busy. So yeah, I know, and it's okay. It's your way of working with it. It's your way of dealing with it, It's okay. Padaing gracias. Aww. No, gracias. You know, I used to know Spanish. And then a little bit, at least. We have in our family, or my sister is actually married to a man from Italy, and my brother is married with 2 women from Costa Rica. And so we used to talk. There used to be a lot of Spanish and Italian, of course, but it usually comes down to Spanish, and also English, of course. And I used to study Spanish as well, but then my brain rebooted itself. I think in order to go into the telepathic system, for me personally, everything just got rebooted, and I can't remember anything that I learned in school. And so unfortunately, also Spanish has vanished for me. So what I do now, like I said, I know nothing. I know nothing about nothing. When we bring things up, the only thing I do, I just read it in the archives, in the libraries of energy, where everything is stored, all the information. So whether we talk about crystals, we got people here in chat who are so good at crystals. But when someone asks me, for example, I know nothing. What I do is that I look for the information that I can find here and now. But inside of here, everything that I learned in school, I can't remember any of it. So math, forget it. But if you let me figure it out via energy, I might be able to do it. It's awesome, yeah. I had 2 years Spanish in school, but I forgot most of it. But I know that. And hablar, yeah. Hablar. Oh, everything is gone. You habla español. Epitite? I can't remember. The thing is, my my telepathic twin studied French, so when I go into Spanish, because I studied Spanish and he studied French, it usually goes it becomes a mixture between the two, because he can't remember anything also. So when we're trying to find anything somewhere around here, it gets a little bit mixed up. Somewhere buried in my brain, a bit of Spanish and a bit of Japanese, yeah. Zaragoza, like a snake in your Spanish. Yeah. My mom forced me to learn, yeah. It's interesting because the language that my healing guide speaks, it is very Spanish in the pronunciation, but I still have no clue what language it is. But I have a very easy way of, all these, I'm so afraid if I say something rude now, I'm so sorry because I have no idea what it means. But you had me speak before about quería le cansó, podía sonreír, all these things. And I have no idea what it means. And so in school, when I studied to become a teacher, where did that come from? I didn't study to become a teacher. I studied to become an actress. I think someone maybe been studying to become a teacher, yeah. But I studied to become an actress, and so I used to use that language in a way of when we were just gonna make up sounds, you know. And now I use it when providing healing. And as you've heard before and can hear me also sing in that language on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Sarah and Ribs only happen in weeks or 2 Wednesdays. Well, no, it happens on quite a regular basis actually. Never intentionally, but it does happen. Sarah doesn't happen in a month on Sundays. Oh, you too. I have Italian friends and some of it is surprisingly similar. Yeah, but I feel it's a bit like Swedish and Norwegian, is that it's very similar, but the meaning of it can be very vastly different. So it can almost mean the opposite of one another sometimes. You lovely, lovely people, you know what? It has come to the time of the day where we have to end because of me having a client. Oh, I haven't. Sorry, Fabian, you're still in queue. Hang on. There you are. We're really a Twitch community where we're developing our own copy pasta and memes. Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. So we're gonna look for one Sunday a month and 2 Wednesdays a week. No? Lost in queue. Yeah, and in translation, right? Well, at least we speak the language of bubbles. No? I was gonna say the language of love and understanding and joy, and that's what I mean, but you know, bubbles. Oh, hopefully some noble maid will rescue me. Yeah. Oh, I just want to ask, Tara. Yes. Wait, hang on. Whoop whoop. I think it was Tara. You gave me a subscription. Yes. For Rhythm City Music. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. Will Friday be a group healing day? Maybe not every Friday. So, we need to talk about this. On Thursday, there will be no stream because of me having a beautiful session instead. And on Friday, Ben Pissarro. So maybe we will be streaming together, Bempus and I, on Friday. That could be happening. Also, we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, where he's off work. So we'll see what happens. It could be interesting. But if nothing else, we'll definitely be back to ordinary scheduling on Tuesday. Yeah, there he is. No promise anything, but Friday might be a special one. Yeah. I was trying to get it to 30 subscribers. Oh, she's a beautiful, beautiful individual. The first time I just saw her energy, there's so much connecting me to her, so I reached out, and hopefully we'll get to talk. Yeah, we'll see. But she's a beautiful person, yeah. Friday's healing session of Bempus. Maybe. That might be really interesting. Yeah. You're such a kind friend, Tara, to help us out. Thank you so much. But yeah, I will be back at least next Tuesday, so in a week's time. But maybe and hopefully sometime in between. I will think so. I think we'll be streaming on Friday, I must say. I think we will be streaming on Friday. And that could be a stream where Bempus maybe plays some games and I provide healing at the same time. Ooh, that could be something, right? Love River, yeah. I love her energy, and I feel there's so much I want to talk to her about. Please no healing Fortnite. I hope he can see that. I hope he reads this. Tentative plans are still good, looking forward to what happens. Yeah, so do I. Embod, you and I, get in contact with me on Discord, and we will find a stop for us. Healing the video game, what is this, Animal Crossing? Yeah, that game has provided healing for many, I must say. It's beautiful. Thank you, my friends, for being you. It means so much, and I hope that Friday to date. I hope that truly I do provide some joy, because you bring me so much warmth. Thank you so much for everyone who's here, and I'll see if there's anyone. Oh look, Kalina just went live. Let's raid her, shall we? There's some very cool point-and-click games like the Cat Lady or Pinstripes, but they're also quite tough topics and experiences. We'll see what happens. Raid, yeah, let's raid her, right? So I'm gonna play the ending sequence like always, and then sit down, stay put, and we'll be raiding Kalina. Are you ready? Yeah, I saw Tara. Okay, I'll see you very soon. And the best way of knowing when we'll be live next is to follow us on Discord. And everything will be on there. Wish you a great day and a good session with your client, Tara. Thank you, Fabian. Take care. Happy week. Can't promise anything. Might be Fortnite, but that instantly gives you like 2 million subs. Oh, really? Oh, no. I better keep it a far away distance from my twin then. Doesn't enjoy Fortnite. Oh, it's a beautiful game. Everything. Perspective, right? I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for the day. All the love to you. And you who just joined, like I said, join us on Discord. It's the easiest way to keep in touch with us. Sending you all the bubbles. See you very soon. Thanks for today. Bye-bye. Happy week. Bye-bye.
So there's nothing like going all in,